here's my Shop My Stash for June. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I have my Shop My Stash for June for you, and we're going to have to go about this a little differently than I normally do because I forgot to press record when I originally filmed this video. So this is actually what I've already selected for June, and the products that were in here for May I already put back into my drawer like 2 days ago. I thought I had hit record. I didn't. Went to edit the video and there was no video. So rather than try to backtrack, I'm just going to show you what I have selected for June. I'm going to show you what I used up in May because there were a couple of products that I used up. And some of the products that were in here for May, I'm rolling into June as well. And as you can see, for instance, I've selected 2 new concealers to use. That's because I used one up and one of them actually has gotten too light for me. So I needed to change those up. So as I'm talking about the new stuff and why I have selected that, I will tell you about why I rotated out some of the old things as well. So let me just get to it and show you everything that's coming up. In this video, I always like to give a little bit of a preview of what's to come, so what eyeshadow palettes I will be reviewing and any ideas for content that I might have for the upcoming month as well. So I'll sprinkle that in between. I always have a couple of things up top, and the things that I have up top are currently these 4 things. The Laneige lip balm is still going strong, but we're making a nice dent. And of course, my Milani eyeshadow primer is also still going strong. I tend to use the same eyeshadow primer for like 1.5 to 2 years until it's gone, so that's gonna take me a while to use it up completely. I rolled in the Jelly Grip primer because I actually did use up my MAC Strobe Cream finally, so that you'll see in the empty section in a sec. And this I actually emptied. This is the Catrice Aqua Splash Grip Fixing Spray, and this actually came in blue, and I used it up and I listened to you guys and reused this spray bottle to use up the rest. It's just a little bit that's left of my ColourPop Pretty Fresh setting spray. That bottle broke, the spritzer broke on it, so I couldn't use it anymore. And a lot of you were saying, oh, you can just use whatever other bottle. I still don't enjoy the spritzer on this, but with this other product in, I like the spritzer a little bit better. But this is just good enough for me to now use up that older product I had already chucked almost, like it was already in my empties bin. I was like, you know what, I might give that a whirl to see if I can depot it, and this container is actually perfect for it. So this way I can still use up the product, but I still don't like the experience of using this bottle. For me, I have found out that the setting spray that I like to use comes down A, to formula, but B, also the spritzer on the bottle. And then these are the 3 products that are now gone that are used up. So I already mentioned my MAC Strobe Cream. That's now all gone, and I actually went through several travel sizes of this before I decided to buy the full size, and now I've used that one up completely. This is such a great glowy primer. I would happily repurchase it again. I'm currently still in the midst of using up some other primers. I only tend to use one primer at the time, use one up, move on to the next one. So I still have a glowy primer in my possession, so by no means do I need to run out and get more of this, but I will have this in mind again when I'm in need of a glowy primer because it's simply that good. And then my Lash Without Limits tubing mascara, the very first tubing mascara that I've personally tried that I ended up liking. It's been a long time coming. I've tried several tubing mascaras, even from like K-beauty brands and stuff. Haven't enjoyed a single one of them. They all make my eyes super itchy because I have allergies, and then my eyes get teary, and then the little tubes start to break down and they get into my eyes throughout the day. But with this, stays put, still very easy to remove, and I really like the brown shade. So this is definitely something that I would repurchase. Again, I stocked up on mascara at the very start of the year, so I'm in no need of any new mascara anytime soon, but when I do and they still sell this, I will happily purchase it again. And then we have something that I have already used up twice in my lifetime before using up this one. This is, I think, my 3rd one of the Kiko Skin Tone Concealer. And I thought this wasn't gone yet, which is why I put it in my May Shop My Stash. But then I used it a couple of times in May, and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually just empty. You just can't tell because there's a lot of products stuck to the sides that I cannot get to. And what actually started happening, like when I have this fresh and first use, you could say, then I just take the doe foot out and I can use it all over my face. By now, I have to dip it in sometimes twice for one part of my face. There's just not enough product on the doe foot, so this needs to go. Would I rebuy this again? Yes, I would, but Kiko has some other excellent concealers as well. So again, I have plenty of other concealers in my collection. Do I need to repurchase this ASAP? No, but this is a really handy one, and because it is so small, it's actually great for travel. So I do like to have it on hand for that occasion. This is in shade 2, which is the lightest skin tone shade, unfortunately, that they do, and it's quite yellow, so I tend to like it a little bit more so in the summertime anyways. So then we move on to what is inside a drawer. I haven't used this one once in May because I was so stuck on using up the essence. So the Majolica in the brown, I'm now going to be using in June. I've got my 2 black mascaras, and then I have my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, which you still cannot see the progress on this. I do apologize, but still loving that product. Again, a product that takes me a while to use up. I think it takes me about 1.5 to 2 years to use one of these up as well. And then I have my MAC Orb eyeshadow. We're nicely chipping away at this. I'm hoping to hit pan on the paint pot this summer and then to use up this eyeshadow this year. That's the aim, to use up this eyeshadow. I tend to use up one eyeshadow like once every 2 years or so, sometimes every year, depending on how much product is in there. And that's always these skin tone shades that I use to set the paint pot with. Then I have my brow products in here, still going strong, the Essence Make Me Brows. Someone told me in the comments that they spotted this on Boozy Shop. I know, because I got my backup ones on Boozy Shop when I could no longer find this anywhere. So I think Boozy Shop still has some stock left, but I'm not sure whether this product is actually back. I haven't seen it in my drugstore. Even the darker shades are now sold out and they haven't been restocked. So I'm hoping Essence comes out with a new brow product that sort of replaces this over the summertime when they do their next roll around. That's what I'm hoping for. And then of course we have my Archery brow pencil by Soap and Glory. I always do the wrong side first, but this is still going strong. I usually can use these brow pencils for like a good 6 months before they run out as well. So good value for money with that. And then I realized that I haven't shown you my lip products yet. I only wore 3 different types of lip products in May anyways. So this one I remembered was in here. I actually decluttered this. And then as I was going through my declutter pile to sort out what to give away to people and what had to be like chucked and stuff, I spotted this again. I was like, I love that Milani formula. And then I wore it in May. And now I'm like, why was I getting rid of this? It's in the shade Blossom. It's the matte Fetish lipstick. And it's an excellent, excellent bright pink. Loving that. And then we all know that I'm using up the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Muse lipstick. This is all I have left. I know I'm going to do it in the next couple of months, but this is not a summer shade for me. So I think I'm going to put this one on pause for the time being. I'm going to keep it on top of my vanity, so if I want to reach for this lipstick, I can, but I'll probably reach for it again in like the September, October type of time of year. And then I have my Pony lipstick from Glossier. This is the Ultra Lip in Pony. This is how much I have left. If I twist it all the way down, not sure if you can see, but this is about halfway done. So this is actually my new goal for this spring summer. This is a very sheer lipstick, something that I can reapply without a mirror, and this is going to be my next lipstick that I want to pan and that I want to use up completely. So that's also going to stay front and center. And now we get to the fun bit. These are the products I have already selected, as I mentioned. I have a skin tint in here. I was using the Lisa Eldridge foundation because I want to use it up this year. But I'm actually finding now that we're hitting warmer weather that I don't really want to wear a foundation all that much. So I'm not sure how much use I'm going to get out of this, but I was like, you know what? I also have the skin tint. So maybe this for the very hot days and this for the like lesser hot days, and I can rotate between them. I think I can do that. So these two were selected for that reason, and I'm going to come back to the Misha at some point towards the end of the year and hopefully use that up a bit more. I don't think I can necessarily make it using up 2 foundations this year, but I'm going to do my best. Then I already mentioned that I was going to select some new concealers and that I had done that for this month because I have actually gotten a bit of a tan. I don't know what happened to me. I don't tan normally, but we've had lovely weather in May. I've spent quite a bit of time outside, and even though I've been wearing a lot of sunscreen, I actually now have a little bit of a tan, so I needed something with a bit of a yellow undertone that also pulls a little bit, like that oxidizes a little bit darker. And that's the case for me with the YSL All Hours. This is in LC1. And the Lifter concealer from Maybelline is something I need to try a bit more. This is in shade 25, and you can see the difference, I think, in the tone. This is a bit more yellow, this is a bit more pink, but both of them like fall in the same level of depth. So I think these are going to be really beautiful for the summertime. And what I've actually been doing on really hot summer days is that I've just been wearing concealer as well. And I know that both of these are quite full coverage. So if I want to go and like have a more minimal makeup day, I think these products are going to be fine for that as well. Another product that I almost decluttered and I decided to just, I can't do it. And it's Mesmerize by Rare Beauty. This is their liquid highlighter. I wish I had a mini of this, but that hadn't been launched yet as a product size when I got mine. But I'm really feeling the peachy tones, as you will see in a sec. We're heading into summer and I want to do the peachy rose gold sort of cheek look. I just think, especially now that I have a slight, it's a tan. Like you can't tell really. Like I don't tan that much, but I'm very happy. I'm very proud. My colleagues actually commented on it today. Like, you look less pale than you normally do. I'm like, thank you. Wasn't intentional. So yeah, we're going with the peach highlighter. The Peachy Gold Prism highlighter from CLIO. This is in Fairy Pink. And it's this really pretty pink to gold sort of shifting highlighter. Really pretty because it's a K-beauty brand. It's not too intense. I actually got some more K-beauty bits to play with in June. So I do want to do a full face of K-beauty for you guys in the next couple of weeks. But you'll see what products I got in the haul. This is something that was sent to me in PR by Vieve. I was a part of an affiliate program and they decided to send me some stuff over the Black Friday weekend and I hadn't been able to try it yet. Vieve is a brand that I really, really rate highly. They do excellent products, but a lot of it is very warm toned. So I've actually been hanging on to some of the products that I got from them for the spring summertime so I could then use it. So this is the Sunset Blush Balm in the shade Rosa. And this is a really beautiful, warm, rosy, sort of NARS Orgasm, but without the sparkle sort of vibe. It looked really beautiful in a swatch. So can't wait to play with that. And I think June is going to be the perfect time of year. I think that was it for the highlighters. I got 2 highlighters and I've got 4 blush, 3 bronzers. So let's do blush first because we got there. Of course, it's the summertime. I have to use one of my favorite summertime blushes. This is the Apieux Juicy Pang Blusher in the shade Strawberry. I use this every year. This is beautiful. And then a product I just didn't get around to using all that much in May because I was ill and doing loads of other things. I didn't really get around to this. I think it's Peri Para. I called it Romand last time, but I'm actually thinking that it's Peri Para. I don't know what the initial here is, and I can't, like the sticker on the bottom is far too small. But this is essentially that sort of, what's the brand called? Merit sort of blush balm sort of situation, but by a K-beauty brand in a much better mauve tone shade than the one that I had. The other one from Merit was a little bit too brown for my liking. So that one's going to be making its way to Esther. Cloudtopia by Maybelline. I really wanted to try this blush. If there is a time of the year where I like red blush on myself, it's the summer season. So this is going to be perfect for the warm summer days where I just want that flush of color. I know I'm going to like it. And then, of course, my powder, that's still going strong, the Essence Skin Loving Sensitive Mineral Powder. I'm not sure if you can see, but I already have a nice dent in this. I think I can hit pan on this in the next couple of weeks for sure. Use it up and then move on to my Kiko Radiant Fusion. And once I get stuck into that, I won't need another powder for the next 1.5 to 2 years because that's a big powder. This doesn't come with a whole lot of product. I believe this is only, does it say anywhere? How many grams do we get? It's usually on the front with Essence. Oh, here it is. It says it's 9 grams, but I've been, back when I first started using this is long since discontinued, but I bought 3 in backup because I liked it so much. It's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury powder, actually. It's a dupe for that. But they no longer make this, which is a bit of a shame. But back when I first used it, I used a big fluffy brush for my entire face, which I no longer do. So it's been taking me more time to use a powder to begin with, but even with a smaller brush, I've been making good progress on it. And then, And then we have the bronzer selection for this month. And I decided to throw in this e.l.f. blusher bronzer. This is their contour shade in Fair Bronze, whatever it's shade 1. And it's the Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. That's what it is called. And I swatched it just before I sat down to film this video. And it's such, like, it looks really cool toned and gray toned in the tube, but it looks really nice and neutral when I swatch it on my skin. So now I'm like, oh, I want to play with that straight away. So I decided to throw it in here. That wasn't originally selected when I first filmed the video. And then, of course, if you saw my makeup memory box video, I decided to pull this out and give it another whirl because bronzers are having a moment, and I had a perfect one lying about in my house. Yes, this is years old, but I'm going to see if it's still fine to use. I think it actually may be. It's a powder product by the Balm. They last a lifetime, let me tell you. And the Balm Desert was a really good bronzer for me in the past. So now that it's having a bit of a moment, I was like, rather than going out there and buying something new, might as well buy that. And then I have the Buttermelt bronzer from NYX in All Buttad Up, which also has this reddish undertone for me. So I was like, perfect blush, perfect bronzer for these like fall, perfect bronzer for like the summer, spring to summer transitioning period. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this bronzer this summer. So those are all of the products I had selected. And then of course we need to chat eyeshadow palettes. For my eyeshadow palettes revisited, I was actually eyeing up this one, the Spice of Life from Zoeva. And then I was like, I'm just going to use the entire stack. I'm just going to do a dedicated Zoeva eyeshadow palette, like revisit, but whatever, use again, sort of little project. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to all of these this month, but I'm going to try and do my best to do at least one look with each one of them. There's only one here where I'm like, that doesn't really go with the kind of thing I like to wear around this time of the year, but we'll soldier on. We'll be fine. So the Spice of Life, nice and spicy. I especially like this shade here, which is actually really cool toned and it doesn't really go, but these reddish tones are calling my name. So I had to select that. One of the best ever warm tone palettes made, in my opinion, just for that copper shade alone, the Caramel Melange. If you were hanging around YouTube in like the 2016 to 2018 era, you recognize this palette. This is the Cocoa Blend. This was sent to each and every creator with at least a little bit of exposure, and especially a lot of people like the cranberry shades. I'm really thinking this quad, but I also like this like these are like cooler tones, so that makes it so interesting. Like we just don't get color stories like this anymore. I want to try that. One of the best fair skin friendly color stories ever made is the Melody palette. I'm so glad I still have this. I did declutter some of my Zoeva over time. I used to have like 18 of these. I think I had every single one of them at some point in time. It was crazy, but I've kept the ones that appeal to me the most. So we have some warmer tone things, but also some neutrally things, some really nice sparkly things. And Zoeva is the brand with the hidden duochromes. So they were already doing duochromes way before duochromes and multichromes became the standard, which is why I feel it's such a shame they no longer do these palettes, because they were excellent. The On Taupe is the odd one out. This is something I tend to reach for in the winter time. Not really my jam this time of year, but this blue, that's calling my name. It's a really nice like white to blue duochrome sort of shifty shade. And then the Blanc Fusion, I really enjoy this too. The yellows have my heart. I'm probably going to do something with that top row, but it's got a full row of matte neutral shades that go really well with the yellow tones as well. This was my Urban Decay Naked Honey before I ever owned that palette, so one of the best yellow tone palettes ever made in my opinion. And then the Precious, this is a little mini palette that I have from them. I especially like these two shades. So nice, so yummy. Really beautiful quality, and this is actually great for travel, and I do have a trip coming up in June, so this may have to go into my luggage that time around. And that brings me to the eyeshadow palettes we will be testing out. Again, a mix here of some like drugstore things, some indie things, and some high-end things. And I decided to just throw this single in here because I have it and I need to test it out anyways. And this way I won't forget it. So let's start there. This is by Violette FR. This is a brand I've been meaning to try for years. I finally found them in store in London at Liberty's, and the lady was really helpful and took a lot of time trying to help me pick my products. So this is in Bois Brûlé, and this is one of their new Plume eyeshadows. This was launched the day before I was in the store and they launched it. So this is a really nice sort of deeper plummy brown, and I still have my MAC Smoky Mauve Extra Dimension eyeshadow that I bought over the Black Friday period. I think it's going to pair with it really, really well for like a quick one and done eyeshadow look. So looking forward to play with this. I have some Berry M in here. I went to the UK drugstore, of course, obviously. I had to give it a whirl. And I found this plot twist little bento stacked kind of thing. It's in the shade Cookie. They also did a berry one. It opens up like this, but then it just has these like tiers that you can twist. And then here's the entire palette. Really nice neutral. I just swatched it and it's not the best in a swatch, but maybe on the lids this could be really nice, especially the mattes were a little bit weak. Let's stick to the UK drugstore for a second because I got the Troublemaker Soundcheck palette from there as well. This was under £5, so I don't really have that many expectations, but I can see two really nice looks in here. We've got those gray tones, we've got those brown tones, some nice cool tone shimmers in here. I think I can make this work. For how cheap this was, this swatched surprisingly well. And then we have this beauty. This is the new Epic Beauty Jewels of Eternity eyeshadow palette. This is launched by MONOLITH. The people behind MONOLITH are the people behind Epic Beauty. They have a dedicated website to this brand, so there's going to be more to come, but you can also buy this through MONOLITH, and I think you can use it, you can buy the palette through Artitude if you're in the UK. They have a collaboration with Gourmand Girls, I believe, in the US, and I think with Glaminatrix in Australia. So no matter where you are in the world, there are other websites that stock this brand, but I believe it's already sold out in a lot of places. I think the only place that still has stock is MONOLITH Epic Beauty in Europe, so that's a bit of a shame, but here it is. I've been teasing this already. I've been showing you some swatches. I'm going to be reviewing it for you this time round. It's a really beautiful, more jewel tone palette. Some interesting shimmers in here, like this purple here in the top, that have this really interesting flip to them. Is this going to be 100% my color story? That's still on the fence, but the formula in here feels sublime. So I can't wait to play with this. So the Epic Beauty palette was sent to me in PR a couple of weeks in advance so I could tease it for you guys and stuff. And then around that same time that they had their April launch, I actually was able to pick out two more things. So I picked up these two eyeshadow palettes that I'm also going to be reviewing for you. So I have the Cleric from Fantasy Cosmetica. You guys know me by now. If something like this, like neutral with a twist, you know I'm gonna like it. So that had to make its way to me. And this is the Freya palette that she did together with Bella Beauté Bar. So this is the Bella Beauté Bar X Freya collab, the Yin and Yang palette. Really beautiful and very, very cool toned. If you can think of this not being there and this half of this purple pan, it's pretty much a cool tone color story. It's got a really beautiful holographic in that I'm excited to see how it performs. And this is actually one of the gel liners. This was a shade that came faulty, so it took a while for MONOLITH to send this to me. But I'm really happy to now have this. We all know that I really enjoy Bella Beauté Bar and Fantasy Cosmetica. These are two of my favorite indie brands anyway, so I'm very excited to try these eyeshadow palettes. And that, my dear friends, is the Shop My Stash for June. I do hope you don't mind that we didn't get I hope you don't mind that we weren't able to go through everything that was in the drawer before and that we were not going into the drawers to select any of these products. But since I already did it, I'm not that good of an actress, you could say. So it was like, it just felt very disingenuous to sort of fake it. I was like, I'm just going to be honest and tell you that I made a bit of a mistake. So if this wasn't enjoyable as it usually is, then know that I'll do my best for July to make sure the old format is back. And then this is my nice little update, and these are the products I'm going to be using in June. Let me know in a comment down below what you will be using in June. I would love to know, and I hope to see you again in a new video very, very soon. Bye-bye.